With great effort, Julie manages to slip out through one of the glass doors, leaving her brother behind. Lorioth stays sitting by the table, bursting out one bubble after the other. Deciding on helping Reimei finish this up faster, I pull out my knives and use them to slice the bubbles. This is pretty fun. Well, I'm really sorry about this and thank you for helping me. I'll go and make sure there isn't any left around the door. As Reimei dashes out of the room, Julie slips back in and trots to her brother's side. Meanwhile, the voices of several people drift in from the corridor and one of them draws my attention. I'll get the new door. You take care of the broken pieces in the dining room so that Yosei can go in easily. Okay. I instinctively duck down behind the counter when I hear the heavy footsteps, which I have been avoiding for weeks now. Leggy comes into the room and, after greeting the twins with his usual bright smile, cleans the mess that is left of the old door. Then he leaves to join his friends. I peek out of my hiding place and see Lorioth and Julie both looking in my direction. How long are you planning to keep that up? My only answer is silence as I try to read Lorioth's expression. First time he has started a conversation with anyone other than his sister. Lorioth keeps the eye contact for a minute, then looks away, shrugging. Well, it's not really my business, I guess. After another minute of silence, during which Julie keeps looking at her brother with a gentle smile, the little boy turns back to me. I wanted to ask if things calm down around here. When things calm down. Ah, yeah, that's right. So when things calm down around here, would you help in my training? I heard you're best in swordsmanship here, so I could probably learn a lot from you. Sure. I think you should leave. Lucky and his friends will be back soon. True. Returning to the academy fields, I take my time, stretching my arms and back to calm my nerves and regain my composure. It's hard to keep composed at times like this, but it's as important as it is hard. I pull out a bar of high-quality chocolate that I left for a better occasion, and I turn on a road that is barely used by anyone, hoping for a little break from everything in the most tranquil parts of the academy. The slow walk in a peaceful environment while I devour the chocolate bar with strawberry filling seems to be just what I needed. Though in the end it's cut a bit short as I soon chance upon a member of CR. I am not actually like the biggest fan of eating chocolate with strawberry. Yeah, I'm not. Kotoyo is leaning with her back to one of the trees by the road, a notepad and a pen in hand, her eyebrows furrowed in concentration as she stares at the notepad. From time to time, she glances at her cell, like a cell phone, or closes her eyes, probably sending mental messages to the other members. I really don't remember when I was in the US if you would just say cell. Because I'm so used to just saying phone, you know? Like cell. Cell reminds me another thing, you know? So it's like looking at her cell. Okay. Whatever. But otherwise, she's so focused on what she's doing that she doesn't sense anything from the outside world. I could probably leave and she would never realize I've been here. As I crunch on the last pieces of my sweets, I scan her expression and body language a bit. She's tense. No wonder she's taken a lot on her shoulders in the past week. Since the problem started increasing, Kotoyo has started to assist Rosalind in her work, keeping track of and handling all the controlling incidents, taking care of communications, and helping me and Tsurugi anytime she can. Besides that, she's also progressing well in learning to use her Shin and physical training. With slow steps, I walk up to her, and when she finally looks up with a sigh, her eyebrows lift when she notices me. Cheryl, sorry, I didn't realize you were here. Did you perhaps need me for something? Just having a walk? No wonder, this is a great place to have a calm walk, rest, or just think things through. I have only come by here a few times, but it always helped me to get my thoughts in order. Though no matter how many times I come, I just can't get my head around these incidents. I step by her side to take a glance at her notes and find that they are all facts and theories connected to the controlling incidents. So you are working on that? Yeah, but it just doesn't fit together. A changing controlling power, a blonde-haired boy who seemed to be a human, and so many controlled people, but they are all everyday humans. Only everyday humans. That is strange. High-ranked demons normally don't use their powers on everyday humans. I don't this is what I was telling you about, which is like sometimes the translation in here seems awkward to me. Awkward. High-ranked demons normally don't use their powers on average humans. Average humans, right? You wouldn't say everyday humans. What is that? That's like everyday humans. Like, I would say most of the sentences in here actually do make sense, but sometimes you stumble upon something that is just, you kind of start feeling like, what? Would you use, like, I don't know, because I'm not native, okay? But I wonder myself, would you use this type of expression? Wouldn't you use something more like high-ranked demons normally don't use their powers on, on average humans, like everyday humans? It's like, on another day, you're not a human. Do you understand? It's like, one day I'm human, another day I'm not a human. But, for instance, I am a human and I'm an everyday human. Like, it's just so weird. I don't know. Okay, maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. And low-rank ones don't act like these. They just hunt down their prey. And I'm finding it weird because when it's just an automatic translation, you find a lot of things that do not match. But I'm not feeling that in here. Like in here, I'm actually finding a lot of sentences that actually make sense. But suddenly, out of nowhere, I find a word or something in there. I'm like, what? It's not making sense to me. Okay. Moreover, controlling abilities aren't common even among demons. Okay, I think I should get back to work. I don't think we can get much further in solving this matter at the moment. Although it's a bit worrying that we can't do anything but wait for something to happen. Can't do anything, that may not be totally true. During the last meeting with Rosalind, she already had a plan. I should ask her about it. I've already asked Shin and Tsurugi to be on night duty tonight, but I will wake you if they need help. Also, she dragged out the last words while closing her eyes momentarily. I've just called out Leggy to help me with some things, so go ahead and have some relaxing time in the dorm. You really seem to need it. You have shadows around your eyes. I'm kind of wondering if this girl is behind something. I mean, she has an ability that is quite amazing. And she was even capable of doing it in a range of 20 kilometers. Like, okay, in the US, I don't know how many is that, but that's actually quite far in terms of being telepathic. Okay, it's just, that's quite a lot. Which makes me think, it's also related to the psyche. So, what about she having like also something of a kind of like controlling the others through that? I don't know. Okay, I don't know, that makes two of us. My answer makes a bright smile appear on Kotoyo's face. Then we part ways, both of us feeling a bit more relaxed than before our talk. Because there is something really interesting in here, which is, think with me. She has a range of 20 kilometers. And apparently, they were being controlled and going into like these gates, whatever. But the gloves were capable of taking them out of the trance. But now, since these people came into the academy, the gloves are not enough. So the person that is controlling might actually have gotten closer and the powers get more effective. Do you understand what I'm trying to say in here? So I'm like, it's curious when you think like that. This time around, I return to a quiet and mostly empty dorm. The only person left in the common areas is Tsurugi, sometimes, who is laying on the dining table half asleep. Though when I move the chair beside him, he stirs and gets up with a big tired yawn. While he's rubbing his eyes, I bring 2 mugs and a jug filled with hot tea from the counter to the table and start pouring the warm liquid out. Sleep in your room. Tsurugi looks at me sleepily at my remark, then takes the mug that I have already poured tea into, chuckling quietly. Thanks for the worry. Well, I'm okay. I already slept 13 hours straight. I see. I sit down beside him and start drinking my share of tea as a comfortable silence falls over the room. I gulp down the warm drink slowly while thinking of bringing some cookies too. Meanwhile, Tsurugi slowly becomes fully awake, stretching his arms upwards. And anything happened? Nothing. I see. Could you grab me a coffee, please? I stand up and search for the tray with coffee, sugar, and sorts of on the counter. While I'm searching for it, the door of the room clicks open and from the corner of my eye, I can see Shin stepping in, then walking up to the table to talk with Tsurugi. It's on one of the upper shelves, Cheryl. I hear Tsurugi's now lively voice calling out to me loudly from behind my back. At hearing that, I turn on my heels and step to the cupboards and shelves by the wall. There I find the tray right away. However, when I return to my seat at the table, Shin becomes quiet and only dares to take a sideways glance in my direction. Then the awkward boy immediately averts his eyes. Then I will wait for you at the entrance. After saying that rather stiffly to Tsurugi, Shin turns and leaves the room abruptly. I can feel Tsurugi's gaze on me as we get left alone in the dining room. What happened? First, I take a little sip of my tea, and only after answering him, the mug still lifts close up to my lips. I told him to stop protecting me the way he's being. Huh? But why? Protecting and helping each other is what we need to do. It was actually relieving to see that he was willing to work together with at least you. Working together? That's not what I would call his way of acting. It's not about him helping me. It's the way he does it. It's completely one-sided. He acts like I'm someone defenseless, jumps in and takes on the attacks coming at me all alone. Oh, I see. Then he acts the same with you as the twins. He has been taking care of them since they met. Which isn't especially bad after all. They are the youngest ones here, and it could be good if those two can experience being spoiled a bit like normal kids. But in your case, that just means that he's keeping his distance from you too. Just for some reason he feels that he should be protective of you. Well, I guess I can understand why that would bother you. That's why you asked him to stop with that. Honestly, I can totally see you doing that in your oh so gentle manner. No wonder he felt awkward around you. I pick at him shortly, then get back to drinking. But he does seem to get along with you a bit more than most of us. Maybe he's just... Can I just say something here? It's just like, I'm kind of feeling like, so they went into this academy, and sure, we are not seeing the classes that they actually go into, but there's like a sensation in here that it seems like they are just being taught by Rosalind, doesn't it? And so where are the other teachers, and why do I feel like people that actually need to embrace certain of their weaknesses, like this guy not knowing how to work in a team, or the other ones having their own, the twins having their own weaknesses and probably needed to do something about it. Why am I feeling like, oh, but we don't care about that because we have a lot of people and we need to concentrate on the other people and we're not doing nothing about it, and there's like no other teachers in here to actually deal with it, you know, like it's just feeling like a bit But there's a ton of things in this game that I'm kind of feeling like, for me, they are feeling a bit awkward, and I don't know how to put it. They are feeling awkward to me. And another thing that I'm feeling that is very awkward is that we've passed already at least 4 hours in here, and I'm still just feeling that in terms of the love interests, I've been passing most of the time with mainly just 2 of them when there are like 6 of them. Do you understand this? Like, and it already passed 4 hours, and I haven't passed a lot of time with Aito. Well, Fraser is like, I bet he's like a Locket character, the blonde guy that we saw. Like Aito, the student council president, the Osamu guy. Like, yeah, sometimes I get some situations with Shin and Leggy, but even that, it's like it's so much drawn into, like, I don't know, talking about the story, but then the story is told to us in a way that I'm feeling like most things are feeling like awkward. I mean, we are at the academy, but I'm not seeing that they are really helping each other, so it's awkward to me. I don't know, like, it's, the game is not bad, but at the same time it has like an awkward vibe to me, like awkward vibe to me. Even our main character seems awkward too. And I'm not sure. I could actually take a peek at the database. I'm having the sensation that this game might actually be Nakige. I already told you about what is a Nakige. It's one of those visual novels that are more bent to drama. Like, they are more into making you have feelings of sadness and make you cry, and like very emotional situations that might appear, because I'm feeling like our main character has a trauma, and the way that she reacts and acts towards things, it feels like this might be, I am not certain, I haven't saw the database, it feels to me that this actually might be a nakige, which I don't like nakiges. I have no patience for those. Okay, it's just the thing. Like I know it's because I'm more of a logical person than emotional. So for me, nakiges are like I don't have patience. But I know, like, for all of you, you love those. You love because they make you have like these very deep feelings inside of you, and you understand, oh, but she's passing by this phase and all of it. Yeah, you like that probably. Okay, I'm not one of the type of fans for those, but that has to do with my own personality. I respect though. Okay, and I'm happy that you do have visual novels that are more drawn to these type of things. But I'm feeling like this one might be, I don't know, I haven't checked it, a nakige, because she acts weird, she has a trauma. Yeah, but in its whole thing, I'm having like this weird vibe coming from it all the time. I don't know, so I don't think so. And he's been like that with me from the start, just like he's cold with you. That's not getting along. Ah, I see. Tsurugi lifts his gaze to the ceiling, obviously thinking about something, but after a minute of thinking like that, he peeks in my direction with a smile playing on his lips. Then he suddenly starts chuckling in himself. I fix him with an intent gaze, waiting for an explanation. Now that I think, he reminds me a bit of a certain someone who was extremely cold towards everyone when she first arrived here. Yeah, I bet she was also pretty bad with teamwork too. And she might still kind of be, having encountered her personality. Still chuckling, Tsurugi stands up from the chair and moves to leave the room, but before that, he stops by my side to pat my shoulder a few times. Whatever the case is, he seems to be fond of you, and I think he could really use a friend. So if nothing else, tell him that you don't dislike him. You may have only asked him to stop acting that way towards you, but he probably thinks you are angry at him or something. After Tsurugi leaves and closes the door behind him, I sit there for a while more. I watch the steam rising from the mug as I replay our conversation in my head. In the end, I decide to return to my room to catch up on my sleep. I wake up after a nightfall and the sound of someone loudly knocking on my door while calling my name. It's open. I call out, still half asleep, as I sit up in my bed. The person knocking turns out to be Kotoyo, and the girl enters my bedroom hastily, turning on one of the table lamps right away. Her expression is full of worry and anxiety, which makes my eyes fly open with recognition. I jump out of my warm bed and step to my clothes resting on the chair right beside the bed, ready for times like this. What is the problem? I ask her as I start changing into combat attire. Kotoyo is taken aback for a few seconds, then starts taking a deep breath. She starts explaining with a serious expression. We got an emergency signal from Tsurugi and Shin not long ago, so I sent out Nova, who was on standby today. But Tsurugi sent him back with a message that they've encountered a rank 3 demon in school fields, and that he's asking for your assistance as soon as possible. Nova has already left to help them till you arrive. All right. After I leave, inform Rosaline immediately. By the time I finish my last sentence, I have already finished getting ready, and after grabbing my swords, I leave the room with hurried steps. Koteo tells me some details while she sees me out to the entrance of the dorm, where I change my pace to running. After leaving the crystal rose fields behind, I head for the area that Koteo mentioned. But they aren't there anymore. Following the traces they've left behind while fighting, I move into the forest. A rank 3 demon. Were we lured into some kind of a trap? Because I'm having like thoughts about that girl. I don't know. With the barriers weakened, they can now enter the academy fields more easily. So we expected one to appear. But Tsurugi is strong enough to defeat an opponent of that level. Yeah, that's why I was like... And Shin and Nova are there too. I try to pick up my pace, but I run into some weaker demons along the way. I have no time for them right now. With that thought in my mind, I take a sudden turn and hasten my steps so the demons have no chance to follow me. I easily manage to do that, and along the path I take, I run into some fallen and broken trees. I stop for a second as I recognize the traces of blades on them. These are fresh. They are close. I look around searching for where to continue my way, but then I feel the ground shaking slightly under my feet, followed by the cracking of woods. That was Nova's Shin. Following the sounds, I finally step out of the trees right into one of the Tsurugi's light traps. Most of the ground I can see is covered by a golden light, and a great bunch of Ankoku demons, other lower ranked demons and beasts are scattered around the bright field, all of them caught in Tsurugi's light trap. Tsurugi is standing in the middle of the field and seems to be tired out. His gaze is fixed on a faraway point of the field, which is shining more brightly than the rest of the area. It's a bit hard to see through that light, but I'm able to make out the form of the creature several times bigger than a human. It has wings, but I can't tell for sure what. I instinctively cover my ears when a sudden loud squall echoes through the field. But it's so loud and of such a range of voice that everything is in vain. Hurts. Even after it stops, my ears continue ringing. I steal a glance at Tsurugi, who has his hands still held out to keep the light trap active and strong. He's obviously in pain, but he doesn't let that break his concentration. I have to act fast. That creature is a Cryot. Tsurugi must have already taken several of those attacks. I break into a run in the direction of the demon and pass by Tsurugi's side, tapping his shoulder lightly. He doesn't move or look at me, but the bright field around the Cryot starts to slowly fade. And now I can make out two other figures standing close up to the demon. Shin and Nova are defending against the demon's attack with all they have, but their movements are slower than usual, most probably due to having experienced the previous sound attack numerous times already. Shin is focusing fully on the fight with the demon, and sometimes he even manages to make a counterattack. Meanwhile, Nova is staying several meters away, only trying to defend himself. When the light around them suddenly starts fading away, Nova takes a look back in Tsurugi's direction and spots me. He automatically starts to retreat. However, at the same time, Shin makes a strike at the Cryot, and as the demon realizes that it's already free from Tsurugi's trap, it pushes itself up into the air and lets out another painful cry. From this second cry, my head already starts throbbing, and even though I try to keep running, my feet stumble a bit. The moment I gain my balance back and look Back up. I see the large demon crashing down onto the ground with full force, right in Shin's direction. My hand automatically grabs the hilt of my sword and I draw it, but I'm too late and too far from them. Damn it. In the last second, Nova appears behind Shin and pulls the boy out of the demon's way, his hand yanking on the back of Shin's coat. Thus, they manage to avoid the demons crashing down but end up rolling on the ground, and the Cryad doesn't wait to attack again, striking at the two guys on the ground with its legs and tails. There's a lot of narrative in here and a lot of internal visualization, as I said, like when we played one other game that I have in there. And it's a pity because when it's like this, when you have a lot of action-driven kind of scenes in a visual novel, you kind of want to see a little bit more of visuals. For instance, keep showing us, they show us some of the demons, but like keep showing us visuals of the demons or something like that, so we get more engaged into the situation than just like narrating everything and making us try to internally visualize everything. Like, that's hard, you know? This time already hitting them. Already back to running and almost in attack range, I get ready to make a big attack. I draw my other sword and straighten my arms beside my body with the swords in my hands. Meanwhile, the Cryad manages to trap Nova under its claws and strikes again at Shin with its spiky wing. When I finally get in range, I plant my feet on the ground and cross my arms in front of my body. Then with as much force as I can use, I pull my arms back to my sides, and while I uncross my arms, the blades of the swords meet. As the blades run across each other, along their edges, an illuminating blade starts to form, and the moment they part, it's set off. Second sigil, luminous cut. The illuminating slash cuts everything that is at least a meter above the ground and reaches the Cryad in a few seconds. However, the creature sees the attack coming and with a push, it's already flying in the air out of danger's way. But I'm already ready for my next move. First sigil, luminous stroke. Cryads can fly, but they aren't fast enough to avoid all attacks. First sigil, luminous stroke. Once again. For each attack, I modify my pose and angle a bit to make sure the demon can't land back on the ground near the boys, and rather it gets further and further away from them. The third strike already hits one of the demon's wings, and with the fourth largest slash, I manage to make it crash into the ground many meters away from the boys. Without hesitation, I rush towards the Cryad, my swords ready in my hands all along. I don't know if I'm going to get interrupted, so give me a second just to put the save in here. As I get near, the demon gets back on its feet and gapes its huge mouth, ready to let out another cry. Without halting in my steps, I start my attacks again and strike at it with another illuminating slash. Just how many times can she use that thing? You know, the sigils. That's also awkward. It's like there's no tiring from using like mana or something. I don't know. It's like sometimes I try to grasp things in here. I'm like, it's just awkward and confused. It jumps backwards and avoids the attack, but closes its mouth while doing so. And with a jump, I'm already at the demon's side. I swish at the Cryad, aiming for the wings to make it unable to fly. I manage to hurt the wings on the left side slightly a few times, but after that, it charges at me and I have to jump out of the monstrous demon's way. After, the demon charges at me repeatedly, until during one of those attacks I let the Cryad get close to me and slide out of its way only in the last second. This way I am right by its right side wings, which it uses to hit me now. I'm also already kind of like confused with the scenes in here, because there's a ton of action scenes going on in here, and I'm not being capable of following everything. That's why like in a visual novel, you don't want to put a lot of narrative to the scenes, these type of scenes. Stopping one of the spikes with my sword, I use my other blade to cut its wing again. In the next instant, the Cryot stops moving and gapes its mouth again. I can let it make another squall. The others won't be able to take it. I take a step backward and grip my swords, then with a push forward, I make a fast cut at its body. At that, the demon lets out a less loud but still painful for the ears cry and starts squirming. After that, I push myself back and try to gain some distance, even though my head and ears are throbbing with pain. However, when the Cryot sees me backing away, it starts charging and striking again. I think we need a manga in here to actually see all of these scenes. It's starting to get like too much. Okay. For a while, I can only keep jumping out of the demon's way, but after a few minutes pass and another charge is coming, I already have enough focus to use Luminous Cut again. So how many mana do you actually have for all of this? I don't know. I let it come at me while stabilizing my stance, and okay. I send the attack off just before the Cryot reaches me, and when the demon sees that, it jumps into the air trying to fly, but it never gets higher than 5 meters because of its injured wings. It's already more than present for me that this game is not for me. Like, probably a Nakie, like kind of awkward people in story and these action scenes where I don't see nothing and I only have narrative. Yes. No, we're going to continue. It's just that for me it's already like, okay, I already know, it's like that. To finish the demon off, I aim its now exposed bottom, side, and huge mouth with several luminous strokes. And when another cry starts ringing through the air while the demon starts falling, I turn and run as fast as I can, covering my ears with forethought. As the large being crashes into the ground, the scream becomes louder and more painful than any of the previous ones, and despite all my efforts, I can't protect my ears from it. Even as it finally ends, my ears and head keep aching. I have to force myself to look around after I finally let my arms down. The grounds aren't shining anymore, it golden light and the huge pack of demons has also disappeared. With a glance in Nova's and Shin's direction, I notice that Tsurugi is already there with the boys. He must have dealt with the lower ranked demons while I was fighting. I walked up to the group slowly, all along messaging my temple. Ouch, that seriously hurt. And here I thought that monsters couldn't scream louder. Cryots always die with painful last words. But thanks for the warning, that would have been awful if I hadn't covered my ears. They have someone that is infiltrated in there. And like these monsters coming in there, and I think they are testing them too with this. As I get close to them, I happily acknowledge the fact that my hearing is starting to work properly. You okay too, Cheryl? You were the closest. It takes a few seconds to register that he's talking to me. I need a minute. I can only mumble that quietly as a reply. Standing by their side, I keep rubbing my temple and take deep breaths. When I feel the pain slowly dulling in my head, I look around the little group again. And I realize that Nova got injured while fighting the Cryot, Tsurugi is already checking his injuries, but the tall guy seems to be in great pain. Meanwhile, Shin is sitting a few meters from them, his right hand on his forehead as he massages the side of his head with the left one. Does your head still hurt? Shin looks up at me at my questions but stays quiet for a short while. A little bit, but it's starting to stop slowly. I would be totally up to do Tsurugi, but Tsurugi is not actually, nor Nova. They are not love interests in here, but whatever, I'm going to them. I nod, then turn back to Nova and Tsurugi. She's a pity. I wouldn't mind to do Nova or Tsurugi. Probably more Tsurugi, yeah. Because, I mean, she knows him better. It's been with him for a long time. I don't know. Well, sorry, I'm not the best at this. Nova has several scratches and cuts running down his back and one of his legs, and Tsurugi is trying to bandage one of his bleeding heavily. The bandaged one that is bleeding heavily, sorry. Meanwhile, Nova is trying to bear with the pain the best he can. We should take him back right away. You are right. Can you stand, Nova? Nova tries to stand up, but he winces from the pain and he can't put much weight on the injured leg, so in the end, Tsurugi and I stop him from forcing it. Can you take him back? You should go back with him, Tsurugi. You are injured too. I can deal with it. I've already fought in worse conditions. And if any problem comes up, I'll call for help right away. But tomorrow, it's your turn. I scan Tsurugi's expression and injures carefully. Seeing that he really has enough strength to finish night duty, I let him make the decision. After Tsurugi helps Nova to stand up and lean on me, with my arm now gently across his back and his arms on my shoulders, the tall guy is finally able to stand relatively stable. Tsurugi and Shin see us to the main road, but after that we part ways. Despite being hurt, Nova seems to be rather calm and has a smile on. And as we take our time to get back to the dorm, he even initiates a talk with me. So this guy is also very friendly with the telepathic girl. Could they be putting a show together? I don't know. You and Tsurugi have surprised me quite a bit out there. Tsurugi held off most of the demons alone for quite a while, and there were several occasions he saved me and Shin. While you defeated that rank 3 without a hitch, even though you had to protect us. Yes, I had to protect you and your group a lot of times already. Why is that? I'm having thoughts. I feel a bit like I was only in the way. I shake my head lightly when I hear Nova say that. You just need more experience and knowledge about the different races. Yeah, from where I was, it seemed like you knew exactly what to do to defeat that demon. Same goes for Tsurugi. Naturally, it wasn't the first time we fought a Cryad. By the Rose Gate, we spot 2 figures waiting for us, and one of them runs up to us immediately. Nova, you got injured again? It's okay, it's not as bad as it looks. Despite the boy trying his best to calm Kotoyo, the girl takes over supporting Nova and urges us to hurry back to our dorm. The other figure waiting for us turns out to be Rosaline, who welcomes us back with a bright smile. Good to see you are in one piece. It's been a while since I last saw her. and she looks rather well, actually. In the dorm, Nove and I retell all that has happened to Rosaline while Kotoyo takes care of the guy's injuries. After that, Rosaline orders all of us to return to our rooms and rest, saying that she'll handle anything that may come up during the rest of the night. Rosaline is calm. Calmer than any time I saw her after problems arose. In the morning, I wake up feeling well rested and ready for another busy day. Still in my pajamas, I leave my room, heading right for the dining room to have breakfast. But when I open the door of said room, I freeze in the middle of the action. Since a certain redhead is sitting at a table with his friends. At the sound of the door opening, some people in the room look up, and that includes Leggy. His eyes widen in surprise at my side, once again passing time with Shin and Leggy. Where are the other boys? What's going on here? Why? No wonder, the last time he saw me was weeks ago. I'll just have breakfast later. Thinking that I turn on my heels, but luckily Dane, who is standing by the counter, throws one of his wrapped sandwiches to me while chuckling. A second after I catch the thrown sandwich, I'm already out of there. Everyone is already used to me avoiding Leggy. There are even occasions when they help me like this. I go directly to my room and spend my breakfast time there. Even after finishing it, I linger a bit to clean my swords. When I finally leave the room, I bump into Tsurugi in the corridor. Sorry. I bump into Tsurugi in the corridor. He's heading out to make the morning check for possible control people, and I decide to join in on it. While leaving, we see Shin loitering around in the dining room, more specifically around the last used door leading to the kitchen. Why am I still just having these two boys around? What's going on? Why can't I just be a little bit more with the other guys? I don't get this. Tsurugi slows down, his eyebrows drawn up, and after a minute of thinking, he calls out to Shin with a gentle smile. You're free to use the kitchen if you want. Shin turns around surprised and opens his mouth, but no sound comes out of his throat at first. Okay. Mumbling that answer, he rubs the back of his neck and looks away. Tsurugi's smile turns a bit awkward at that, and now he's at loss for words too. I'm also reaching the time that I can be in here. Yeah, 4 hours. Where? Like, rushing it? I don't know. 4 hours where? In the end, it's me who breaks the uncomfortable silence that has settled on us. Let's go, Tsurugi. Not even waiting for an answer from him, I walk out of the room and Tsurugi follows shortly after. I have probably like 20 minutes more, and yeah, that's already too much. At the entrance of the dorm, it's my turn to slow down and stop as a group of our members are there discussing something. Naturally. Leggy is among them and sees us exiting the building. And it seems like he wants to approach and possibly talk to me. Bye! Tsurugi sings his goodbye with a chuckle, expecting me to run away. And that's exactly what I do. I leave Tsurugi's side, first only trying to slide by the group at a moderate speed, but when Leggy turns in my direction, I run for it, leaving the surprised redhead behind again. I don't slow down until I catch sight of the rose gates. I have had enough of this. But then I hear Leggy's loud shouts sounding in the distance, and after that, the sound of rapid nearing footsteps. I look back over my shoulder as I unlock the gate and see Leggy running in my direction with all he has, a determined and angry expression on his face. Finally I've lost him. This is comical. Now that Hiryu is letting me be, I have to run from the redhead. At least he's easier to... As I'm thinking about that, I'm tackled down on the grass-covered ground. When I open my eyes after being pushed down, I realize like he has managed to catch me. His hands are strongly planted on both sides of my head, his legs beside my body, and a strong gaze fixed right at me. Maybe I can escape this by... Finally! Can we just... God! You are too fast in running. While Leggy tries to catch his breath, I glance around, trying to find a way to escape. Stop it already. Why can't we do something about this issue already? It's awful to be like this, and being avoided like this is something I really can't take. I look up at him, considering talking with him a bit, but then I can feel heat radiating from his skin. It's like I'm near fire. With that sensation added, looking at him draws out the memory of flames from the training session. The flames are encircling me. I shut my eyes for a minute, trying to push the picture out of my head. It feels hot. Focus. My heartbeat starts racing, and the raging flames slowly become... My eyes fly open at my train of thoughts, and I have only one thing in my mind. I have to escape. I look up at him, and suddenly an idea comes to me. I keep looking up at him, not moving an inch and not showing any sign of thoughts. Will you find a... You know, to the outsiders this looks like sexual harassment. It takes a minute for the meaning of what I said to dawn on Leggy. It takes a minute for the meaning of what I said... But when it does, you also have this, which is like, instead of putting a new one, they're continuing the phrase. Okay. But when it does, Leggy becomes beet red and hurriedly jumps back, looking around frantically. Meanwhile, I stand up and take my leave comfortably. Wait, there isn't even anyone around. After looking around several times, Leggy looks back at the place I should be laying. Huh? What? Hey, you tricked me! Leggy shouts after me, plain anger in his voice. Sorry. Let me just take a look at something in here. Which is skip all. Must shrug your shoulders. Oh my god, you are freaking kidding me. Since when is this 4 hours? There is no freaking way. See, sometimes I do this just to have like an idea of like, okay, do I still have like a 10 lot more? We do. Oh my god, yeah, no. This is not 4 hours. Since when did these developers were like telling us that this was 4 hours? There is no freaking way. And I know I talk a lot sometimes, but I actually haven't talked that much on this one. So, I don't know. Do I continue this tomorrow? I mean, we do have other people showing up in here, finally. You You are freaking kidding me. Since when is this 4 hours in? And no fucking way. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So that's it. If you want to play the demo, I am going to put it in the description below. Yeah, I'm kind of like also in kind of a rage state in here, like, oh, yeah, the demo has 4 hours. What? Since when is this 4 hours? This is a lot more than 4 hours. And if I continued, it would probably have been like at least 6. At least 6, I bet. No doubt. And I'm being generous. Yeah, I'm being generous. Yeah, so I say that we could go back and continue, but I'm going to leave this one for you because I already told you that for me, we were like in here, like it was more than 4, but whatever. I'm going to say it was 4 hours. We were in here for like 4 hours, and I felt that I was only interacting or having issues with like these 2 boys. Where are the other boys for me? Like, it's just, yeah, they were after, you know. But that's a lot of time to be building something that I even felt that it had a really awkward vibe. It wasn't being delivered, I would say, in the best way. There was also a lot of narrative, more than needed to be in there. But I don't want to say that the game is bad, and nothing like that. The game actually seems quite okay, you know. So what I'll tell you is that you played the demo or buy the game, whatever, you know, it's out there. The idea that I have is it maybe be a Nakige one, since she has like these traumas and people around her like traumas too. It gives me that sensation. So as I said, I'm going to leave the link down below, and then you see if it's something that you really think it's okay for you. And I'm sorry that I'm not going to continue, but I'm not feeling it. Because for me, personal taste, this is not really my type. It's not my type, and it's kind of like affecting me, the fact that I want to be with the others and it's already past 4 hours and I'm still going in things in here that, okay, it's kind of like building the world and all of it, but it's, you know. So yeah, that's it. And I hope tomorrow I'm going to be able to bring you something else. Okay, for us to play once again. Okay, thank you very much for being in there.